Committee of the Whole to consider 5 bills. There is the Intergovernmental Relations Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 37 of 2021. This one is a bill tabled by the Chairperson Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations. This particular debate will be a resumption of an interrupted one that was on Wednesday, 22nd December 2021 in the morning sitting. Members will also be going into division at the committee stage on this particular bill. This afternoon also lined up for consideration at the Committee of the Whole is the division of a revenue bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2022. It is a bill by the Senate Majority Leader. The Elections Amendment number 3 bill, Senate Bills number 48 of 2021 by Honorable Senator Engineer Ephraim Maina. Will also see members of the Committee of the Whole to consider this bill. At the entrance of the Senate chambers, the Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Kenneth Lusaka, has stepped into the chambers and he will be presiding over this afternoon sitting. I will now hand you over for the live broadcast. Good afternoon.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings us, your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Senator Mbito.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, 30th of March 2022. Report of the Standing Committee on Health on the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 53 of 2021. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, statements.
I want to invite Senator Kibiru. You have a statement to make to the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to make a statement so that I can be able to clarify an outstanding issue to allow the Senate to continue with its business. Mr. Speaker, for 2 sessions we have been debating about the position of the the county government's grants bill, and I want to report to the House that today, since morning, we have had discussions because we promised to go and lobby, and I was with the leadership of the House, and we met both the leadership of the other House and the chairman concerned in the matters that we are deliberating. And it is on record, Mr. Speaker, that it was unanimously agreed and communicated that tomorrow at 10, the mediation team will meet, and we have agreed that the bill will be an annual bill, and the 2 clerks have already started making the necessary arrangements for a meeting tomorrow. So I just wanted to clarify to the House that we have it on record, and on record that we will get the grants bill tomorrow afternoon, a report that will conform into what we had proposed in the bill. And I think as the minority leader is getting in, he can comfortably be able to confirm that that is the position that happened in that deliberation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Murkomen.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to get some clarification on what exactly was Mr. Speaker, you and your party leader are confusing me, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
proceed,
Mr. Speaker, I need to get clear clarification. What is the import of what Senator Kibiru has reported to the House? First, in two things. One, the report he's giving us is under which standing order? What is it? Statement of a chair, personal statement, statement of comfort. The Speaker, I don't understand exactly what he's trying to communicate and how we can be able to hold him into account insofar as that statement is concerned. Number 2, Mr. Speaker, we have been in this House, I have been a member of mediation committees and also leadership of this House. How shall we hold Senator Kibiru, the chair of the Budget Committee, into account for the statements he made here? If there is no signed mediated version of a bill, if he was given a promise, verbal promise by somebody somewhere, we've been given so many verbal promises. So, Speaker, senior leadership of this House have been to State House, where we were told this week, you will get your money. Yeah, I was there. That's why I'm saying senior leadership of this House. I have been there in the presence of the President, where we've been told this week the oversight fund will be in your accounts, Mr. Speaker. That was like 3 years ago. And this week has not arrived. And that promise was given at the highest office in the land. How shall we believe this one for Senator Kibiru, Mr. Speaker? And how shall we hold him account?
Senator Cheriot.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to protest while Senator Murkomen is still on the floor, because he appears to be demeaning Senator Kibiru, the chairman of Budget and Finance. the indefatigable chairman of Senate's Budget Committee on Budget and Finance. Because when he says that they have received assurances from the highest office, to the contrary, is he contradistinguishing it that Senator Kibiru's office is the lowest in the land? And therefore, we should not in any way believe whatever he's saying. I think that is unfair to my chairman. I'm a member of Budget and Finance. I may not necessarily support the chair with in the statement he has made, because even as a committee, that's not our position. Because chairman, you remember there was a deal here yesterday, and that deal was made by a very high office in this parliament, none other than the son of Kericho, who happens to be the senator of Siaya. He came and gave me assurance and told me, my brother, my senator, please let us pass the second reading, but I assure you, in the interest of this house that I love so much, even though I may not be planning to make a comeback here, I want to leave a strong house that is dignified and respected. And he assured me, together with Senator Fatuma Dulo, the Deputy Majority Leader, that we shall not make any progress until Senator Kibiru makes progress with county grants bill. I believe that is a position, and as good gentlemen and lady, please lead us in that direction. Anything else, you'll be throwing this institution under the bus, and you know the history too well. I plead with you.
Yes, Senator Kibiru.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I may not stand a chance when it comes to the verbal discussion with Mulcomen, because he has been practicing it for quite some time. But I'm a man of few words, and I think I've made many promises in this house that I've never let the house down. After all, I am the one who even raised this issue, and I promised the house that I'll see to it that even if I'm exiting the house, I will not be eroding the job description of the house. Mr. Speaker, for comfort, Senator Mulcomen, I stood at the standing order 51A, and it says a committee chairman may make a statement relating to a matter for which the committee is responsible. So that is the standing order I'm using. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. What's your point of order, Senator Mulcomen?
Mr. Speaker, I had a very specific question, and I know you are consulting my colleague, Senator Kavindu, but Mr. Speaker, two things. One, Senator Kibiru, Mr. Speaker, cannot claim to have made statements in the past that have come to be true. If Senator Kibiru, Mr. Speaker, came here with BBI and told us we want to give counties at least 35%. Senator Kibiru has come back with another bill, Mr. Speaker, saying we give counties the same amount we gave last year, which if calculated, Mr. Speaker, using the BBI standards, will be like 16-17%, Mr. Speaker, of the revenue. So, first of all, he has no credibility because the subject he's prosecuting on finance has not made the test of the promises he has made. But that is not my point. That's beside the point. I asked you a specific question. This statement he's giving, is he laying a foundation for something else? Because it might sound, the statement on its own might be okay. It's a promise. He didn't even need to make it, because tomorrow we'll be here. We'll come here in the afternoon to receive the report of the mediation committee. Why does he feel like he needs to make this communication? Because I am hoping it is not tied to us being told on the promise of some people who are not in this house, and a promise that we cannot rely on, let's do another business. That is all. I just want that assurance from Senator Kibiru. You can make your promise. 24 hours is very short. We will see tomorrow if your promise will come through. Just don't use it as a promissory note to withdraw anything from this house. Mr. Speaker.
Senator Orengo.
Mr. Speaker, I stand here first of all to congratulate Senator Kibiru, not for what has happened now, today, that the issue that is of concern to the Senate, he was the first to raise it. Remember when we were discussing the Division of Revenue bill during the second reading, Senator Kibiru, both on account of making his contribution to that bill and subsequently to making that contribution to that bill, he made a statement here which many of us were not conscious of, but he did say at that time in very, very clear terms that to proceed with the Division of Revenue bill without resolution of the county, what is it called? A county grounds bill would be a big, big mistake. And I'm so happy because the other day when I was coming for the second reading, merely to come and cast my vote, I had the opportunity to read the Hansard of what Senator Kibiru raised on account of the necessity as a fundamental condition precedent to passing the Division of Revenue bill that we must have a resolution of the county grants bill, which is a bill that originated from this chamber. And then subsequently, the statement that Senator Kibiru made yesterday. In fact, if you read his statement, I think the most radical statement that was made about the powers of the Senate being eroded on account of not passing the county grants bill in the format in which it was passed by the Senate. The person who said that we will be eroding the powers of the Senate, if that happened, was Senator Kibiru. And I'm very happy that his position has not shifted. And I want to report that this morning I was called into a meeting in which his counterpart in the National Assembly participated in. And on that account, they agreed that tomorrow the two committees, the mediation committee is going to sit to agree on the framework as proposed by the Senate. Not the 5-year framework, but the 1 year, annual legislation coming to in terms of a bill coming to this House. So tomorrow I am aware that there's a meeting which has been convened of his committee to deliberate upon a report that is going to accept the Senate version of the bill. And I think that was a good report for him to give, because yesterday people were not quite excited about the proceedings, and we had to go into a kamkunji. And Senator Kibiru went to approach his people in the other house on the basis of what we agreed yesterday. So I think Senator Kibiru was trying to do that when we get to that order, he would, because that order now requires us to go into the third reading. But as chair of the committee, that bill is being piloted by the leader of the majority, not Senator Kibiru. So this is the appropriate time for him to make the statement, so that when we reach that order, we'll know that we have made some progress. And now it will be upon the House to determine whether we proceed further into the third reading or we wait until that report tomorrow is tabled. But I, on my part, I'm satisfied from what I saw today that the National Assembly now is committed to passing the Senate version of the bill. As to whether those assurances are enough for Senator Murkomen, I don't know. Because there was a time when he really believed Raila Amolo Odinga should be the president. and he changed his mind. And I can't accept that. He can change his mind anytime, including the fact that I was told by somebody in Elgeyo Marakwet that the senator for Elgeyo Marakwet has changed his mind about running for governor because the possibility of Raila Amolo Odinga winning the election is so high that he has to retrace his steps. And I wanted to make sure that he is not going to come back to a weak Senate. He is going to come back to a very strong Senate, which Senator Kibiru has ensured that, that is what is going to happen. So for once, we are all honorable members. When Senator Kibiru, who had made those statements yesterday, stands up here and say we have a settlement now, I think we should take him seriously. Thank you.
No, the Senator Wetangula who was before you. Okay.
Mr. Speaker, you know I am a very serious supporter and fan of Senator Orengo. And when he speaks, Mr. Speaker, I really enjoy his speeches. And it's been a very great mind and friend. I really feel very sad that he decided to retreat to the villages of Siaya, which I believe it's out of sacrifice, to go and serve the people there. I would have loved to serve in my third time in the Senate with him here, but I wish him the very best. And Senator Orengo knows I've never considered running for governor. If for anything else, if I ran for governor, we would be together in the Council of Governors. But I still want to make my contribution here, Mr. Speaker, in this House. And between me and Senator Orengo and Kibiru, both of whom are going to the counties, I think, Mr. Speaker, you must give me benefit of doubt and listen to me more than them. Because, Mr. Speaker, they only have 3 months before they can exit this chamber. Myself and Senator Kio Senator of Makueni, Kitui, Senator Wambua, Leader Wetangula, Senator Cheriot, Senator Fatuma Dulo, among others, have greater interest to protect this House more than them. Because, Mr. Speaker, if we come back here, and Senator of Machakos is here, Mr. Speaker, we are the ones who have greater desire to have a stronger chamber. And it will be very sad, Mr. Speaker, if the people who have participated in weakening this House the last 4 years of the handshake government would take leadership of the government at the top. Because, Mr. Speaker, that's why I don't wish his candidate becomes president. Because then they will continue the tradition of weakening this House. Mr. Speaker, very good, my friend Kibiru. Thank you for your report. But please listen from experience. We have been told, I told you from State House, forget about Kanini Kega. I am telling you from the highest office, we've been told this week your oversight fund will be in the account. You better listen to me and give these people, this is the only time to strike a deal. It will only take us 24 hours and that decision is made. Meet tomorrow at 10, agree on the bill, the version of the bill, bring it to the chambers in the afternoon. We will sit here, we've sat here to pass bills that were not so urgent. We'll sit here tomorrow after midnight to pass for you the 370. In any case, the state had promised us 600 billion. But we will pass the 370 if that is only what is there. And we realize that even by tomorrow, the decision of the Supreme Court on BBI will have come out. We will realize, Mr. Speaker, that all these people who used to preach this BBI thing and tell us 35%, never believed in it because they brought us another 370 billion. But be it as it may, let's at least take something. Let's take this grants bill tomorrow. And this difference between now and tomorrow, 24 hours, is too short for us to be told, let the chairman of the committee give us a report about mediation and a promissory note that comes from one chairman who is a member of parliament of a constituency, Mr. Speaker, and then a whole Senate believes in his reported speech. It's not even written. Passes a bill, a serious bill, and then tomorrow comes here and regrets, say, oh yeah, the chairman says, I received a phone call from somewhere, sorry, we are unable to pass that bill. Let's also be serious, a little bit serious, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wetangula.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sat there listening, and I'm appreciating Senator Orengo's exuberant optimism about his party leader becoming the president. Is a far shot.
At least he believes
It's a far shot. Anyway, Senator Kibiru, my chair, very hardworking, very bright chair. We have come a long way between this house and the lower house. And never you trust any promise from them. I can assure you, you will be cornered into passing a bill of such momentous importance, and tomorrow you'll be told we have changed our minds. We have had so much altercation and mistrust and distrust with that house that some of us have graduated into Thomas of the Bible, that seeing is believing. So I want to encourage you not to be too optimistic and too believing, because it will not happen. If indeed they will bring and send to you what you have promised tomorrow, we wait and see it. I'm ready to be a Thomas on this particular matter, so that we have a commitment in writing. What is so difficult, if what you are saying is true, for the Speaker of the National Assembly to write to our Speaker and say, we have this matter and the progress in this end is this much, we will reach here, please proceed if you can, or even from clerk to clerk. But in the absence of that, Mr. Speaker, you know, my chairman is still licking wounds from a recent debacle when he was frightened from joining a party of his choice. And he is now stuck with people he doesn't like. What's your point of order, Senator Kibiru?
Mr. Speaker, I think I need to put the records very clear that, and the House knows, I've been an independent senator, but I support the government. And I was on to report, although I don't know the implication, but I can bring affidavits. I'm no longer Charles Rubenson Kibiru. I'm Charles Kibiru CK, officially. It is within that process that some people thought that they can be mischievous and tried to remove him from this party, take me to this party, take me to another party. So let the record be very clear. Currently I'm in Jubilee, but that doesn't mean that I cannot make choices. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of order, Senator Orengo?
I think, Senator, for Bungoma, your memory fails, and fails you tragically. You remember when the Waiguru matter came here, when everybody, including myself, took the position that that governor, there was no sufficient evidence in order to impeach her. Senator Kibiru, under a lot of pressure, and you know, the side of this house that he belongs in, the way they were required to vote on that issue, he took a determined position to the end. If you look at the record, Senator Wetangula did not vote with Senator Kibiru at that time, when it really mattered. Fortunately, Senator Wetangula and the governor are now on the same side. But when our issues came up, he voted the other side. But that's not the important issue. What I'm just trying to say, I think give credit where it is due. And I can tell you, on this issue, I think Senator Kibiru has done a lot of work since last night. Not to do it for any purpose, but to achieve what the House demanded yesterday. And I'm glad Senator Sakaja has arrived. Senator Sakaja, you're so much aware of what we agreed yesterday. And that is what Senator Kebiru. No, because I'm saying you're out of order, because you're saying you don't trust Senator Kebiru. No, you said it. You said it. Because he's an honorable member. Even when you do not trust an honorable member like yourself, like Senator Slade used to say, the moment a member who is an honorable member does not believe an honorable member, that is when the House becomes dishonorable as a whole. And all that Senator Kibiru was trying to do, Senator Wetangula, was not to ask you to vote on the bill. He was just trying to make sure that what was required of him to do and what we agreed from yesterday is work in progress. And I agree with Senator Cheriot that so far we don't have anything that has been laid on the table. But tomorrow, Senator Wetangula, and I'm not in that committee, you're going to be in that committee. Yeah, you're going to be in that committee tomorrow. Courtesy Senator Kibiru, who has made sure there's going to be a meeting. It has already been convened, that meeting, where we are going to make sure that our position on the county grants bill is achieved, the mediated. And in fact, the process is much easier, because if the mediation process, in that process, they reach agreement, the bill, as far as we are concerned and Parliament is concerned, will now be due for assent. So let's give Senator Kibiru a little credit that what he has told us today is a development from where we were yesterday. The two chairmen have met. Tomorrow the committees are meeting. And by the time we meet tomorrow in the afternoon, we'll have a report before the National Assembly and before the Senate. And we are not doing anything before the National Assembly also acts. Both of the houses can do the same work at the same time. And that is when now we can be able to deal with the bill that is for us.
Senator Wetangula, continue.
Before Senator Orengo jumped in, I had actually cast no aspersions on my good friend. The only thing I had said in jest is that he tried to join a party he liked, but he was frightened of, and he moved elsewhere. And he has given an unconvincing explanation on the issue. All we are saying is, Senator Orengo, that we have a history with the National Assembly. And this mediation committee in which I am, Mr. Speaker, is a committee of 5-5. We can reach a stalemate and bring no report. The two chairmen can agree and go to the committee and find a different scenario. It is possible, it can happen. But Senator Kibiru has done a sterling job as our chairman of the committee. Senator Cheriota and I sit in that committee. We have never ever had any misgivings about his ability to chair or his industry as a chair. He has done a very good job. But on this particular one, we want to encourage you, Senator, that bring a tangible report here, or a commitment, or a passed bill. Then we deal with ours. But to rely on a promise from the lower house, we have a history. And I want to encourage my distinguished nephew, don't be prodded into this by Senator Orengo and smile and say, I was part of the discussion. A discussion is not an agreement.
What is your point of order?
A discussion is not an agreement.
Mr. Speaker, is my distinguished uncle in order? I know he knows many things. He knows how I operate, but is he in order to already insinuate and cast aspersions before I have spoken? Because, Mr. Speaker, I intend to speak on this matter. I spoke very strongly yesterday, and is my principle in Kenya Kwanza. He should not worry. But I am who I am.
Senator Wetangula, conclude, yes.
I have never had any doubt that my distinguished nephew will always be on the right side of history, regardless of the weight of the moment. And I want to end by urging you, Mr. Speaker, that we have something tangible before we make our next move. And Senator Orengo and I have battled for the last 9 years and Murkomen and others to uphold the dignity of this House against an assault from the other House. And that assault has not been only physical, it has also been in the form of fake and false promises that we receive and nothing happens. Mr. Speaker, none other than myself, Lonyangapo, Kiraitu Murungi, Muriuki Karue, sat to prepare a document for the oversight fund. We finished, we brought it to the House. The House looked at it, agreed. It is now gathering dust somewhere. And it was frustrated by the same House we are now supposed to believe on a verbal promise.
Senator Wambua. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank Senator Kibiro, though he's walking out, but it's important that you listen to this. Mr. Speaker, Kibiro has reported a progress on the matter of the grants bill. But, Mr. Speaker, if I sat in this House yesterday and I followed debate in this House, what members asked the Chairman of Finance to do is not to come back and report progress or the restarting of a process. I think the members were clear that what they expected the Chairman to do is that at the fullness of time, he was going to table a report on an acceptable version of the mediated bill in this House, so that then progress on the division of revenue bill could continue. It is well that the chairman has met the other chairman and they have discussed. It's an indication of progress, but that's not what we are waiting for. At the point that then that discussion then yields some fruits, then we can restart the negotiations on division of revenue. So I want to encourage my friend, my brother, Senator Kibiro, to move now beyond talks with the other chairman and make sure the committee sits, concludes this bill, they bring a report, and we move to the substantive division of revenue bill. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Cheriot.
Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage my chairman not to be a near do-good. Otherwise, he will set a very bad example that he nearly does the right thing every now and then, especially in this season. You know, yesterday he gave a very good promise before this House, and we respected him for that. That we have taken this position because we firmly believe that this is an assault on our prideful place as a Senate. That if we are taken out of this budget-making process, or we allow people outside this chamber to determine for us when we can consider certain matters, then those of us that are pleading with the electorate to allow us to come back to this House will be coming back to a skeleton. Therefore, I want to plead with my colleagues, especially those whose heart are still here beyond August in spirit. My good friend and neighbor, Senator Rose Nyamunga, I plead with you, don't allow those who have left this House in spirit already, they're only here in body, to mislead us. It will be very unfair because we had a deal, and a deal is a deal. The deal was past second reading. They'll go and consider the county grants bill, bring a mediation committee report. We will pass division of revenue. And I hear what Senator James Orengo, minority leader, is explaining. It makes perfect sense. The only question that I have for you, son of Kericho, why can't they also wait the same way they're asking us to wait? They can also wait. Once the mediation report is brought before this House, I can assure you nobody will raise a single question to that bill. We will pass it in record time. So I want to plead with you that for the sake of your colleagues who you are leaving behind in this House as you go to do good service to the people of Siaya, allow us to hold Tomorrow the mediation committee happens. We are given the green light that they have agreed. We will come and receive the report here by 3:45. 3:45 at the very latest, we will have passed the division of revenue bill.
What's your point of order, Senator Orengo?
Mr. Speaker, I'm just urging that we don't turn this into a debate, because within the confines of the third reading, there is no intervention that Senator Kibiru can make. All that he was trying to do is to report progress on a matter that arose out of a Kamkunji. We were not discussing the bill in any formal way. All that he was doing is just to report progress. But we have not moved an inch from the position where we were yesterday. Yeah. So I think we are taking a lot of time, but I can assure you that what Senator Kibiru was trying to do is to report progress. And progress, knowing that, there are people like Senator Cheriot, who is my senator, a very difficult senator, that if he doesn't have the good spirit of Senator Kibiru, for political reasons which have nothing to do with the bill, he may try to do what Senator Wetangula was trying to say, that you may not agree tomorrow. I don't want to anticipate. I'm not a cynic or a skeptic. But I think the basis was that when we come to the third reading of the bill, there must be evidence before this House in a documentary form that some progress has been made. And I think Senator Kibiru made that very clear, that that is what is happening. And I plead with you, even if I don't come back to this House, I have an interest in a working Kenya where institutions are working. I don't want a Senate which is, just an institution which is there for people who are given sinecures. I want a Senate that plays a constitutional role. And what we are trying to do actually, in terms of the county grants bill, is very important for those who manage counties. Yeah, it's very important. It's not just for the Senate. It's very important for those who run counties in questions of accountability and oversight. Very, very important how these grants work and how they are allocated. So I plead with you that let's take this in good spirit, that Senator Kibiru has been doing a good work, and it deserves commendation. And never forget that there is somebody in this House called Senator Fatuma Dulo, the deputy leader, who has actually carried the burden of most of the frustrations we've had before. Oversight, remember the negotiation she was doing on our behalf with the Treasury. So all of us have got that memory, that once bitten, twice shy. So I plead, let's make some progress.
Okay, the last Senator Sakaja, I think he's been waiting for long. What's your point? What's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I really like the spirit with which Senator Orengo is now speaking towards the end of this conversation. Mr. Speaker, can we then take, first of all, I agree with Senator Orengo that our colleagues here who are hoping to become governors have a greater stake in this bill than even those of us who remain here, because it will benefit them but benefit the country. That I agree, and therefore they should be in the forefront in terms of ensuring that we pass this bill tomorrow. But be that as it may, Mr. Speaker, can we take the statement of Senator Orengo, who has said here that we are not departing from the position we took yesterday, to be also an additional information in the same stature as the one given by Senator Kibiru. Like Mr. Speaker, Senator Kibiru has given the progress up to now. Senator Orengo saying here that the position of yesterday still stands, which means we can't process the bill further until we finish the grants bill. Can we take it also, Mr. Speaker, as a communication of the same stature as the one of Senator Kibiru, or even higher stature, considering the position of Senator Orengo as a leader in this House, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Sakaja.
Mr. Speaker, I'm grateful to Senator Kibiru. He raised this matter. The Committee on Finance has stood its ground to make sure that before we do division, we always have these grants addressed. And it's a very important issue. And I really want to prevail upon the leader of majority and minority. And I'm glad Senator Orengo has spoken to balance the pressure, which I'm sure could be with the interest of the House. This 39 billion, I know for me it's 800 million in Nairobi. If we don't sort this thing out now, as I said yesterday in Kamkunji, if we don't sort it out before division, before third stage, we might as well just forget about it. Yeah? And I'm happy you've said that since the mediation committee is meeting tomorrow at 10, in fact, Mr. Speaker, you have the authority with your colleague in the other house to have them meet now and just bring us the report. I'm sure we will have 47 members voting yes, with or without amendments. But let us have that, and let us set a precedent, the same way the Speaker of the National Assembly said that they will not deal with the budget estimates before division of revenue has gone there. Then the President, the Senate will have said is that before division is done, we have the grant sorted out. The Director of the Parliamentary Budget Office told us very clearly yesterday that until that is done, the dollar is actually hanging, because we don't know how to apply that 7 billion. So, Mr. Speaker, we're grateful. I think that is tremendous progress. Yesterday we consulted with the leadership. I'm sure Senator Kibiru has gone to consult further. By 10 a.m., once they meet, we'll be very ready to pass it. But I don't think that we should go into that vote today before we have actually seen the mediation report. It's just 24 hours. It's just one sitting. I don't think we've upset the calendar, in a big way. But, Mr. Speaker, failing to do that, and I can assure members here, I can assure you, if we pass the division today, you will never see that grants bill. You will never see it, Mr. Speaker. Let's just do it, because we want this money after August. You need it in CI, I need some of it in Nairobi, so that we can do it. And remember, out of the 39 billion, it's only 7 billion that's the national government. The rest of this money is from donors. A lot of it is health projects. These health projects are actually suffering. Possibly this money has been diverted or gone to other projects, we don't know. But what it behooves us as a Senate is to protect that. You can never give out your leverage before going to the table. There's no way we can vote and then tomorrow go to mediation. They will walk out. We've been in this mediation process many times. Without leverage at mediation, they will, we look at each other in the eye and they say, you people you can go to hell. There's nothing we're going to do. But until we have that leverage, Mr. Speaker, and the only leverage we have is the third reading. So let us wait for it, and I'm grateful and agree with Senator Orengo.
Leader of majority, finally, then.
Thank you, Speaker, for the opportunity to join colleagues in this statement. Speaker, I think we will probably say more as we get to the order paper and get to the item, the order paper. There is a way in which members are both grateful, praising Senator Kibiru, at the same time not believing or casting aspersions in what he has to say. It's a bit, it's a bit confusing, Speaker. The Speaker, the kind of work that Senator Kibiru and some of us have done this morning is such that it is it's like moving mountains. And where we've reached so far, Speaker, as has been said, it's a matter of the committees, the teams from the mediation just getting together. Everything has been agreed, as he reported, Speaker. We must have a little faith in some of these things that we have decided to do. Believe it's going to happen. And so that is one thing I wanted to say, Mr. Speaker. The other thing I want to say, Mr. Speaker, is that as Mr. Sakaja, Senator Sakaja says, that, if we don't pass it, forget about the grants. How do you forget about grants? I mean, you cannot really lose monies in the system, so don't worry. The bill will be here tomorrow. We will be able to finish with
Really? Okay, that's your point of order.
Mr. Speaker, the leader of majority is putting words in my mouth. I'd not say forget about grants. We need grants. But I'm saying that once we lose our leverage, that bill will not, I mean, it's taken how long for the mediation to be done? It's not been done, and it will not be done. That is my opinion. He may not agree with it, but I have not said forget. I've even said the exact amount of money I expect in Nairobi. I don't know how much was Pokotos to get, but that 700 million shillings, Mr. Speaker, actually 800 million is extremely important. So we cannot forget about it. And the reason, and because we can't forget about it, we're waiting for it to come tomorrow first before we vote on committee.
I thought you had finished, leader.
That's a point of opinion, whatever it's called, Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to emphasize the fact that there is goodwill, that the two leaders are together. In fact, we're more than just the two leaders. We had other leaders with us. We made sure that this thing came to the table. And it is true that we must have some faith in the leadership, have some faith in the process. And this is going to be delivered, as we have said, Speaker. So as we get to the order, when we get to third reading, then we can begin to talk more about this. I just wanted to say there's good faith, and there is no way that any of us in the leadership would slacken or leave anything to chance when it comes to this particular issue. It is important, and we're not going to leave it to chance. So that's why we are giving a review every so often about it and giving statements that can be credible. And I think that's just a matter of saying, let's believe each other. Thank you. Thank you, Speaker.
Okay, I think we've had. What I can say is that we are all senators, and it's important that we ensure that we protect the House. In my place, we say, when you want to kill a fly, you wait for it on the wound. So you can interpret what it means. Next statement. The next statement is Gertrude Musurve.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 47-1 to make a statement regarding the World Water Day. Honorable Speaker, World Water Day is held on 22nd March every year and raises awareness of the 2 billion people living without access to safe water. The theme for World Water Day this year is groundwater, making the invisible visible. This day is commemorated to educate people about the importance of water to the whole world and to raise awareness about the water crisis. The day also highlights the necessary improvement for access to water, hygiene, facilities, and sanitation in all countries. This day was first formally proposed in Agenda 21st of the 1992 United Nations Conference on Environment and Development in Rio de Janeiro. In December 1992, the United Nations General Assembly adopted Resolution RES/47/193, by which 22nd March of every year was declared World Water Day. Honorable Speaker, water has a salient role to play as an economic as well as social resource. Economically, water resources are critical for irrigated agriculture and in many industries such as mining and hydroelectric energy. It is used in the production of almost all goods. Socially, some of its main uses include bathing, drinking, that is for hydration, where it energizes the body and flushes out toxins and improves skin complexion, and other household needs as well as recreation or sports purposes. This indicates that no household can survive without water. Its essential role makes it a mandatory commodity. Honorable Speaker, natural sources of fresh water include surface water, under river flow, groundwater, frozen water, whereas artificial sources of fresh water include treated wastewater, that is reclaimed water, and desalinated seawater. Research reveals that Of the Earth's water, only 3% is fresh water. Most of it is in ice caps and glaciers at 69%, and groundwater is only 30%, while all lakes, rivers, and swamps combined only account for a small fraction, that is 0.3% of the world's total freshwater reserves. Honorable Speaker, water resources are under threat due to scarcity, pollution, water conflict, and climate change. Fresh water is a renewable source, yet the world's supply of groundwater is steadily decreasing. Honorable Speaker, as we commemorate Water Day, I urge both levels of government to have sustainable mechanisms in place of ensuring that water supply is efficient and sufficient in all counties. I wish all Kenyans a belated happy World Water Day. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Nyamonga, you want to say something on water? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to support the statement by Senator Musuruve. Senator Musuruve is known for very good things. One of them, coming up with very nice topical issues that affect almost everybody in this country. Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate that even as I speak here, personally, I don't have water in my village, because water is only targeted at where schools are or maybe government institutions. But there are many people who live very far from any government institutions, myself included. So making it very difficult for us to have clean water. Mr. Speaker, that brings me to the point of the Korusoin Dam, which to me is very critical, because if the government can fast track that project, which will produce a lot of water and will serve almost three regions, that is the Rift Valley, Nyanza, and even part of Western Kenya, depending on the distribution that will be taken. To me, water is critical. Women are suffering a lot looking for water. Women spend a lot of time and money looking for water. In Nyando, where I come from, it is still a big dream for many people, and more so during the drought. It was very, very difficult for most women or most families to access water. So as we commemorate this, we are still lagging behind as a nation, and we should do our best to make sure that really water is life, and as many Kenyans as possible should be able to access clean running water. Because with water, we can do agriculture. With water, it will help us to, avoiding the waterborne diseases. And water is required in every village. Imagine sitting in Nairobi in your house and there is no single drop from your tap. You become sick, and it is a very difficult situation. What about our women in the rural who have never even seen that tap we are talking about? And water is a big dream. So the government should be urged, and I want to urge the government, that water is a big priority. And it is one of the devolved functions of our county governments. And I know sometimes it could be difficult for all the county governments to work on water, but that is where the national government should also come in handy to make sure that Kenyans have access to clean water. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, next statement is by a leader of majority, Senator Borgisho.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 47-1 to make a statement on an issue of a general topical concern, namely the 12th ordinary session of the Plenary Assembly of the Forum of Parliaments of the International Conference in the Great Lakes region, the 2nd to 6th of April 2022 in Nairobi, Kenya. Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, the Forum of Parliaments of Member States of the International Conference in the Great Lakes region is an interparliamentary organization of 12 parliaments of member states of the International Conference in the Great Lakes region, namely the Republic of Angola, the Republic of Burundi, the Central African Republic, the Republic of Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Republic of Kenya, the Republic of Rwanda, the Republic of Sudan, the Republic of South Sudan, the United Republic of Tanzania, the Republic of Uganda, and the Republic of Zambia. Speaker, of the forum's organs, Speaker, the Plenary Assembly is the highest decision-making body and is mandated inter alia to inter alia approve the nomination of office bearers of the FPICGR, adopt the forum's budget, adopt the reports of committees, adopt the recommendations and resolutions of governments and parliaments of the member states of ICGLR, and deliberate on all matters within the jurisdiction of the forum. The Plenary Assembly meets on an annual basis, and the venue of the event is held on a rotational basis between the member states. The mission of the FPICGLR is to work for the prosperity and stability of the ICGLR member states by the establishment and the entrenchment of democracy, good governance, the rule of law, and the fight against poverty. The forum is chaired by a president drawn from the speakers of the parliaments of member states, and the president serves for a one-year term. The Speaker of the Senate of Kenya, the Right Honorable Kenneth Lusaka, EGH MP, is the current sitting president of the forum. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Parliament of Kenya has the singular honor of hosting the 12th ordinary session of the Plenary Assembly of the FPICGLR in collaboration with the General Secretariat based in Kinshasa, DRC. The event is scheduled to take place from 2nd to 6th April 2022 at the Nairobi Serena Hotel. This event will be the first one in 2 years, following the disruptions and cancellations of in-person international events owing to the COVID-19 global pandemic. A series of meetings will be held during the 12th ordinary session of the Plenary Assembly and will include the 7th statutory meeting of the Committee on Democracy and Good Governance, and the 4th joint statutory meeting of the Committee of Gender, Children, and Vulnerable Persons, together with that on social and humanitarian issues. The second one, the 24th ordinary session of the Executive Committee, Mr. Speaker, presided by yours truly. The third one is the 12th ordinary session of the Conference of Speakers, which will thereafter culminate in the 12th ordinary session of the Plenary Assembly. So, Speaker, sir, the theme of this event is the role of Parliament in conflict resolution. On my part, the forum could not have chosen a better theme given the current affairs on a global perspective. Since its establishment, the forum has been crucial in spearheading discourse on security, peace, stability, and development in the region. A region that has over the years seen more than its fair share of bloody wars, famine and starvation, economic and social inequalities, religious strife, and political instability. Regional and global debate resonate around the world around economic recovery post-COVID-19, which continues to persist even as countries ease containment measures, following a steady, robust, and adaptive measures to fight the pandemic. We must, however, not lose sight of the root causes of conflict pre-pandemic and institute measures to deal with them. Our failure to address these root causes will result in the same unsuccessful outcomes to eternal, interstate, regional, and global unrest. The role of Parliament in addressing the aforementioned challenges can therefore not be gainsaid. Speaker, I'm pleased that at the 12th plenary assembly of the forum, this topic has been chosen for discussion, for member parliaments to take necessary actions to strengthen governance systems and processes, interstate and regional cooperation. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Parliament of Kenya will be represented by the following members of Parliament who sit in the various committees of the forum. A, Senator Samuel Pogisho, EGH MP, who is President of the Executive Committee and member of the Committee on Economic Development, Natural Resources and Regional Integration. B, Senator Architect Sylvia Kasanga MP, member of the Committee on Women, Children and Vulnerable Persons. 3, Honorable William Kamket MP, member of the Committee on Humanitarian Social Issues. D, Honorable Colonel Retired Geoffrey Muturi Kingangi MP, member of the Committee on Peace and Security. and E. Honorable Paul Chendo Amolo, EBS SC, MP, member of the Committee on Democracy and Good Governance. Speaker, I take this opportunity to welcome member states of the forum to Kenya and wish them fruitful deliberations in the 12th ordinary session of the Plenary Assembly. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much, Leader of Majority. As the President of ICGLR, I also want to extend the invitation to those who will be around and the member states who are coming to our beautiful city of Nairobi. Next statement is a statement by Senator Mwaruma, but I don't see him in the chambers, so the statements are dropped here at 2. I will therefore, honorable senators, wish to rearrange the order paper for the convenience of the House so that we go to Okay, we rearrange the order paper for the convenience of the House, so we go to order number 19.
Order number 19, the Employment Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 54 of 2021, second reading.
Yes, Senator Chararge.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On order number 19 on the second reading of the Employment Amendment Bill 2021, and I'll be requesting Senator Enoch Kio Wambua to second this amendment. Mr. Speaker, this is a very straightforward amendment. The principle behind it is to ensure that we disconnect
You need to move, huh?
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the Employment Amendment Bill 2021 be read a second time. So, Mr. Speaker, this is an act of Parliament to amend the Employment Act to provide for the right to disconnect, the right of employees to have their personal time and privacy respected, and for connected purposes. Mr. Speaker, you know, with the onset of technology, it is hard nowadays, and with the onset of COVID, you had virtual meetings, virtual engagements, Mr. Speaker, that you see people nowadays either fatigued, also or even when your spouse is being called by somebody of the opposite gender, you must give a quality and long explanation. Who is that? And that is what we are just saying. You know, many people, we are just saying, let us disconnect from work. When after 5, the bosses should not have a leeway, unless, Mr. Speaker, it is of essential. Unless it is essential. And I know Senator Wambua has worked with the environment of media. My brother, Senator Professor Sam Ongeru, who is the next governor of Kisii, has worked as a medic. And therefore, some people can argue that those are essential services, that they are on call, especially as medical doctors. I don't know, maybe Senator Wambua will tell us whether media or the fourth estate are also on call, Mr. Speaker. So we need to disconnect. We need to protect our families. We need to ensure families get quality time. Mr. Speaker, when even you are on leave, you need also to be protected from overzealous bosses, where they call you, you have gone on leave, maybe you are in the village somewhere in Bungoma taking care of cows. Somebody is calling you, a boss is calling you in Nairobi, or you are somewhere in Nandi, in Mosoriat, enjoying your annual leave. Your boss is calling you in Mombasa. I think, Mr. Speaker, the purposes and intention of this amendment is to ensure that you are protected from overzealous and overexcited bosses that we have in our workplaces, especially to Kenyan employee. I know, Mr. Speaker, when this amendment was brought, some people are commenting on social media and Twitter that I'm proposing that watu wapige sherehe bila kusumbuliwa. I think it was just misconstrued. What I was just saying is that we need to disconnect. That one, this law, Mr. Speaker, does not allow you also that when you are on call or you work on emergency services to disconnect. So I think the misinterpretation that I saw in social media and social forums is that I didn't mean that people now will be doing weekend getaway and if you are of essential services. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, the Employment Act is amended by inciting the following new section, and that is after section 27, Mr. Speaker, where we have been provided for hours of work. An employer shall regulate working hours of each employee. And we know in Kenya, Mr. Speaker, our work time is between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. And that is why I'm proposing your boss or your employer should call you at 8 up to 5 p.m. From there, you disconnect from the work unless you are defined as essential workers. And I think that is important. And even on weekends, Mr. Speaker, somebody somewhere is enjoying good family time. Madam Speaker, I note the change on the seat. Somewhere you are enjoying yourself or your family, you are in a farm in Nyando, and you can imagine somebody calls you. You know, that is what it is unfortunate. So what we are just saying, if it's a weekend, let the privacy, and the right to privacy is very key, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, but of course I note also people like Senator Sakaja, Governor of Nairobi in waiting, who live within cities, want to piga sherehe bila kusumbuliwa. So Speaker, an employee, and therefore the introduction, the import is an employee has a right to disconnect from the employer. An employer may contact an employee during out of work hours if such. And therefore people who are criticizing this amendment, Madam Speaker, they didn't understand, because I provided that if such contact is necessary for the purposes of addressing an emergency. And that is why I've said people like doctors, people who are on call. You remember even there was a circular during COVID, Madam Speaker, during COVID. There was even a list of essential services that were provided by the minister, and then the chair, Senator Sakaja, and then led ably the COVID task force that also worked on those approval of those rules and regulations. So it is easy, Madam Speaker. We know why the essential workers, who are essential services, and Madam Speaker, therefore, an employee shall, for the purpose of service, and by the way, Madam Speaker, other countries have done. We appreciate what the technology is doing, but we don't want technology to erode the social fabric, to undermine the family values, to undermine right to privacy. And Madam Speaker, you remember Senator Kasanka here moved a very important bill called Mental Health Bill. The reason we're having even breakdown and depression is what we call labor work pressure that is there, Madam Speaker. You can imagine a journalist who was waking up at 5. Let's say there is a fire breakout here in Nairobi, for example. That journalist is forced to wake up at 4 a.m., does the stories all through up to around midnight. Madam Speaker, that journalist will suffer from stress, will suffer from burnout, will suffer from breakdown. When that employee wants to settle down, there are phone calls coming, Madam Speaker, and you can imagine the pressure. And that will cause even mental anguish, Madam Speaker. And therefore, it also becomes part of what we were just saying, mental health. Because as human beings, we need to ensure sometimes that we relax, Madam Speaker. And therefore, for purposes under which an employer may contact an employee during out of work hours, so that you don't need to explain, Madam Speaker, to your spouse why Senator Cherargei is calling you at 9 a.m. because you are maybe the temporary speaker. So there is some level of engagement that should be provided for, because if I call you at 9 a.m. or at 10, your spouse will be wondering why Senator Cherargei is calling you at night. And if it is work related, why didn't he engage you before 5 p.m.? Just like Senator Wambua will agree with me. I know as we mourn our chairman of men's conference, Madam Speaker, the late Mr. Jackson Kibor, these were some of the issues that men's conference sometimes discuss. So we good circumstances under which an employee, another is use of electronic devices. This includes phones, computers, to send or receive information, messages, or any digital work-related communication during out of work hours. You have a right to disconnect from receiving messages, from receiving phone calls, from receiving even inbox to your Facebook account, from receiving even inbox to your Twitter account, from even receiving WhatsApp. If this law passes, I hope our clerks are noting also this, that they should be careful if you are sending messages to a committee group after 5 p.m., Madam Speaker, and even the Senate Business Committee in future. You need to be also careful when we're having what we call special sitting, when you decide that we decide on a very serious matter at midnight, even if it is not but limited to some issues that we normally transact as a house, unless it is specially permitted. So you have a right to disconnect your phone, your WhatsApp, your Snapchat, your Facebook, your Twitter, your phone call, your SMS. And Senator Kavindu, you know very well when you can even relax and ensure that you enjoy your weekend. Circumstances under which the right to disconnect may be waived. I think that gives leeway. For example, if we had an emergency, for example, Madam Speaker, let's say there is like the way we have Solai Dam tragedy the other time, Madam Speaker, there was a time that, those are emergency situations that this right can be waived, Madam Speaker, and that is very important that it is noted there, that if an emergency occurs today, the law allows that such circumstances can be waived. Now, specify the nature of compensation who work during out of work hours, Madam Speaker. There are many employees in this city and across the country who are giving so much to their employers, but the compensation for the work that they have worked beyond and above the time that is provided, Madam Speaker, it should be compensated. So what we are proposing to all employees, and the labor union should listen to this, and labor leaders, Madam Speaker, should listen to this, that we want proper compensation to the employees that work above and beyond the provided timeline of working hours has been captured by Section 27 on the Employment Act. We don't want to see workers working beyond and above the set time of provided under the law. Between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., you get teachers still teaching in classroom. You get drivers driving beyond 5 p.m. You get people, workers, or all forms of employees, even those who work in casual. The law is very clear on the compensation, that they must be compensated and their working hours must be compensated. And therefore, this amendment tries to address that, Madam Speaker. The right to disconnect shall be subject of course, conditions. I have said, and this should come out clearly, because I saw when this bill was published for the first time, this amendment, Madam Speaker, there was a lot of misinterpretation that was used to interpret this. And one of the misinterpretation, Madam Speaker, was on the fact of the right to disconnect. When do you disconnect and how? Who are you to disconnect? The issue is we must protect the essential services and the emergencies. And therefore, like police officers, like military and others, Madam Speaker. And therefore, shall not be reprimanded or subjected. And I think this is very clear, Madam Speaker. So if today your employer is looking for you, you are on your annual leave as provided by Section 28 of Employment Act, you are relaxing somewhere in Machakos, you are in your home with your grandchildren, Madam Speaker, So the employer cannot say, I called you on Friday evening at 8 p.m. you didn't pick your call. So you are supposed to appear before the board for disciplinary action. We have protected, because we have saying the right to disconnect unless it is waived on the condition that it's an emergency or something that you are an essential service. And therefore, an employer with over 10, and we have put a caveat here, an employer with over 10 employees shall develop the policy under subsection 3 in consultation with employees or a respective trade union. And I think now, for people who have housemaids or house helps or cooks, if they are below 10, then the trade union, this law will not be able to apply, but in consultation if they are above 10, and that is what we thought it would be wise when I was drafting this amendment. And wherefore, when an employer contacts an employee during period where there is no mutual agreement out of work, the employee, and I think it is very important, Madam Speaker, nowadays, with especially casual laborers, before you close a hardware here in Kirinyaga Road, your boss can tell you, no, leo tutafanya kazi, we'll do the job up to 9.
Yes, what's the point of order, Senator Sakaja?
Well, this is a very serious house, and we have rules. Madam Speaker, you repeatedly ignored the casual manner in which the Senator Fernandi, my friend, is mixing languages. This is not, a baraza in the street, or a forum in Kapsabet. This is the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. When you start in English, you finish in English, and you don't mix unless you have quotations. When you start in Swahili, you finish in Swahili. But Madam Speaker, the Senator is treating the House very casually. His off-cut remarks are very interesting, but it's the Senate. There's a way, there's a reason we have rules, Madam Speaker. So kindly rule him completely out of order and ask him to take his debate a bit seriously, because we are following. This is a very important bill that was brought to my committee, and we have things to say. But just guide, the content of speeches, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Sherargei, apologize and please just have
Madam
the
Speaker,
seriousness with which this house is regarded.
Madam Speaker, while I apologize is that since I saw standing orders, we have Kiswahili and English. And
Senator, we have both, but once you start with one language, you continue with that. If you want Kiswahili...
My apologies, Madam Speaker.
But now you are even misleading this house further.
My apologies.
That now that we have standing order for both languages, you can crisscross. That's not allowed.
My apologies, Madam Speaker. But the reason I was trying to emphasize is not casual. I treat the Senate of the Republic of Kenya seriously. It is that also I always believe that the consumers of what we debate here are ordinary Kenyans who would like to be on the same page. But I would restrict myself to the language that I started with. And I hope Senator Sakaja will in future ensure how our primary consumers get that in a simpler version. But I was just using an example where an employee contacts. I was just saying, if for example you are working in an hardware in Kirinyaga Road, your boss says today we shall work up to 9 p.m. What happens to you? Or when you are working here in Senate, this is our very good secretariat. We decide today there is no special sitting. We go beyond 6:30. We just tell our secretariat and our sergeant at arms today we will finish. You will leave Senate premises or Parliament buildings after 11 p.m. What happens? And therefore, are provided that shall not be obliged to respond or shall have the right to disconnect. So if you have left, you can just switch off your phone, Senator Wambua, and go to your other issues. I may choose to respond. It is up to you. If today we decide at 5 here, the Secretariat to remain, but if we have agreed that they have the right to disconnect, then that is very important. The provisions of this section shall not apply to the provision of essential services. And I want to really re-emphasize that the trade unions and Federation of Kenya Employers, the labor unions, including COTU, Central Organization of Trade Union, should note that we are not in any way undermining the essential workers in any way. And I hope, I have seen most of the trade unions are busy doing campaigns. I hope they will find time. Because when I saw some of the, like a trade union that I just seen Senator Murkomen. He used to be my lecturer, and I believe he used to be in UASU. I think a university academic student, union, UASU, doing politics. But when I want to appeal to the trade unions that this issue should not be misinterpreted. Even the Federation of Kenya Employees, I know Federation of Kenya Employees want to say we need to maximize the output of our employers or our employees, that they compensate based on the output. But that one does not negate the right, the labor rights that every employee has, and I think it should be treated rightfully. Therefore, we are brought, after this, you have the right to disconnect unless provided by law, unless, and therefore you will be protected from harassment from your overzealous bosses. You will be able to disconnect if you are having your leave, Madam Speaker. For example, under Section 28, you enjoy your leave, be it maternity, paternity leave, annual leave, and any other form of off. If you are off days, off working hours, you have a right to that. And also, you must restrict yourself, as Section 27, on the hours of work, confirming or commensurate with the compensation that you are being given. If you work beyond and above working hours, then it must be written and be specified. So if you are paid a certain amount, if, for example, and this is important to especially, I have seen exploitation of casual workers. Madam Speaker, that I use an example where you work as a casual laborer in Antwerp along Kirinyaga Road. The boss decides today we are not closing at 5, we close at 11. How do they compensate that and ensure even, provide for transportation? I know most companies, especially the ones that Naivasha deal in flowers, they sometimes provide transport, they provide lunch, but that one in no way does not give them the right for you not to disconnect, because we want also strong families. We want our social fabric to be maintained. And we have provided for an offense. A person who contravenes this section commits an offense. So if your boss calls you when you are supposed to be on leave, and there is no explanation as to why that disconnecting from work has been provided, and you are on your vacation, or you are in your farm, or you have gone to visit your relatives or your friends outside the country or within the country, it is not exceeding 500,000 shillings. Not exceeding 500,000 shillings, or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 1 year, or to both. So the penalty of disturbing Senator Enoch Wambua's holiday, for example, if works to a particular employer, that employer and Federation of Kenya Employers should listen to this. If this law is assented by the President, and even the Kenya Private Sector Alliance and other stakeholders who work in labor markets. And it is good to note that the chairman of Labor Committee and Social Welfare, Senator Sakaja, is here, and they gave a good report, and the way forward on this is that on the all amendment, I'm not talking about this specific provision, is 500,000 or to 1 year. So you can imagine employees will start behaving, because employers will start behaving, because if they commit you to commit a contravention, if this is ascended to law, then you will be paid very good money, 500,000 or both. For purposes out of work, of course, Madam Speaker, just to define, because this is a straightforward amendment, before I conclude in the next 2-3 minutes, because I know my colleagues would want to comment on this. And therefore, for purposes of out of work hours means hours other than the hours of work agreed, and I think section 27 of the Employment Act provides very well on the hours of work agreed upon between an employer and employee in the contract of employment. And it is very important, and I want to ask especially casual laborers, because I think people who are in permanent and pensionable or in contract, I know for us in elected leadership, we are on contract with the people. Although we have not signed that contract on how our timeline should work from which time to which time. I think ours is more of essential service. Madam Speaker, that is why it is very important when you are signing, and this is my advice to also labor practitioners, and I think we should see how the trade unions, the employees, the employers work to ensure that, because we don't want these, you are told, I have seen even in my county, when they are in cultural laborers, they just tell you sign down there. You don't.
of the members of the board. I move, Chair.
I propose a question that section 26(1)(a) be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question that section 26(1)(a) be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 26(1)(b), section 35(3), section 37, section 39, and section 40.
I propose the question that section 26(1)(b), section 35(3), section 37, section 39, section 40 be amended as proposed in the bill. And there being no amendment, I go on to propose the question, which is that section 26(1)(b), section 35(3), section 37, section 39, section 40 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Paragraph 1 of the schedule.
I propose the question, which is that paragraph 1 of the schedule be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Chair, I beg to move that paragraph 1 of the schedule be amended as proposed in the order paper. Chair, this amendment seeks to provide with certainties that the reappointment of the board members shall only be for a period of one further term of 3 years. The amendment also seeks to ensure that the quorum for the conduct of meetings of the board shall be 5 members, since the board will comprise of 9 members. I move, Chair.
I propose the question that paragraph 1 of the schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. I put the question, which is that paragraph 1 of the schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Paragraph 2 of the schedule.
I propose the question, which is that paragraph 2 of the schedule be amended as proposed in the bill, and there being no amendment, I put the question that paragraph 2 of the schedule be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Paragraph 3(4) of the schedule.
I propose the question that paragraph 3(4) of the schedule be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair? Three, 4 of the schedule.
Of the schedule?
Yeah, before. By deleting 3.
Oh, okay. Chair, I propose amendment of paragraph 3(4) and inserting the new, as proposed in the order paper. And this, Chair, I think I'd already included it in the earlier. That's why I got confused. It's a quorum for 5 members. We moved from 9. We moved from 11 to 9. So then, of course, quorums become 5 because the members are going to be 9. I move, Chair. 2/3.
I propose a question, which is that paragraph 3(4) of the schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. And I go on to put the question, which is that paragraph 3(4) of the schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the Medical Laboratory Technicians and Technologists Act, Act number 10 of 1999, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Tobacco Control Act number 4 of 2007.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the Tobacco Control Act, Act number 4 of 2007, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 5.
I propose the question that Section 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Chair?
Tobacco, eh? It's Honorable, blame it on Honorable Kenya. Chair, I beg to move that Section 5 be amended as proposed in the order paper. And Chair, this amendment introduces a qualification for one to be appointed as a chairperson and also seeks to ensure that the board, and to be specific, this is the Tobacco Control Board, yes, shall be comprised of persons having the relevant expertise as well as representatives of relevant stakeholders. The amendment further specifies the respective institution that will nominate representatives to the board. This amendment also seeks to include the Principal Secretary for Health and Finance in the membership of the board in compliance with the provision of Section 6(1) of the State Corporation Act. I move.
I propose the question, which is that Section 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I go on to put the question that Section 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New Section 5A.
I propose the question, which is that new Section 5A be amended as proposed in the bill. There being no amendment, I go on to put the question, which is that new Section 5A be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the Tobacco Control Act, Act number 4 of 2007, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Nutritionists and Dietitians Act number 18 of 2007.
I propose a question, which is that provisions relating to the Nutritionists and Dietitians Act, Act number 18 of 2007, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 2.
I propose a question, which is that Section 2 be amended as proposed in the bill. And there being no amendment, I put the question, which is that Section 2 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 5.
I propose the question, which is that Section 5 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that Section 5 be amended as proposed in the order paper. Yeah, and this is on the nutritionist and dietitian board. And this Chair amendment introduces a qualification for one to be appointed as a chairperson, and also seeks to ensure the council shall be comprised of persons having the relevant expertise and knowledge in matters relating to nutrition and dietetics. The amendment also seeks to include the Principal Secretary, Finance and Health in the council in compliance with the State Corporation provision of Section 6(1) of State Corporation Act. It also seeks to include the Director General for Health in Council for the purposes of technical expertise, and also seeks to provide the grounds upon which a person may cease to become a member of the council. I move.
I propose the question, which is that Section 5 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Member Fontiwa?
I don't know whether the Chair would do further amendment. There seem to be only eight members. It could be odd. Odd would be better, right? Did I count right? There seem to be only 8.
Christine, are they? Let me see. Let me count, just 1 minute. An executive chairperson will give them 9, isn't it? The chairperson is non-executive.
Check the
1, 2, 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. Then CO is an ex officio.
Chair, check the stand.
Yes, I think there are 7 because we have the 3, then plus 4, and the CEO is ex officio and the chair is non-executive. So 7, that's an odd number. And if we add the CEO and also the non-executive chair, and they will not be voting, they are 9. So we're okay. We are fine.
Okay. I go on to put the question, which is that section 5? Section 5 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 9.
I propose a question, which is that section 9 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Yes, Chair, I beg to move that section 9 be amended as proposed in the order paper. Chair, this one, amendment 6 to make reference to SRC as a body that is constitutionally mandated to review and determine salaries and remuneration for public officers. I move.
I propose a question, which is that section 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. I go on to put the question, which is that section 9 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
First schedule.
I propose the question that the first schedule be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move the amendment. No. No.
Change 55.
No.
Amended to 5.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the first schedule be amended in an amended, and I'll do a further amendment as proposed in the order paper, and the word will be 5, not 7, because the quorum will be 9, and so the whole council will be 9, so it's not 7, it's 5. So I further amend from 7 to 5. So we will delete the word 2/3 and substitute thereof the word 5, not 7. Thank you, Chair.
I propose a question, which is that the first schedule be amended as proposed by the mover. I put the question, which is that the first schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the Nutritionists and Dietitians Act, Act number 18 of 2007, be amended, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Cancer Prevention and Control Act, Act number 15 of 2012.
I propose the question, which is that provisions relating to the Cancer Prevention and Control Act, Act number 15 of 2012, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 6.2.
I propose the question that Section 6.2 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Chair, I beg to move that Section 6.2 be amended as proposed in the order paper. And this amendment introduces the qualifications for one to be appointed as a chairperson of the Cancer Prevention and Control Board, and also seeks to ensure that the board shall be compromised with members having the necessary knowledge and expertise relevant to the field to fulfill the objects and functions of the board. It also seeks to include the PS Health and Finance in compliance with the provision of Section 6.1 of State Corporation Act. It also includes the DG for health in the board for purposes of technical expertise and provides for the manner of nomination of the representatives from the various institutions. I move, Chair.
I propose the question, which is that Section 6.2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I go on to put the question that Section 6.2 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 6.3 and new Section 10A.
I propose the question that Section 6.3 and a new Section 10A be amended as proposed in the bill. And there being no amendment, I go on to put the question, which is that Section 6.3 and new Section 10A be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the Cancer Prevention and Control Act, Act number 15 of 2012, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Public Health Officers Training, Registration and Licensing Act, Act number 12 of 2013.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the Public Health Officers Training, Registration and Licensing Act, Act number 12 of 2013, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 3.3.
I propose the question that Section 3.3 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Chair, beg to move that Section 3.3 be amended as proposed in the order paper. And Chair, this amendment introduces a qualification of one to be appointed the chairperson of the Public Health Officers Board, and also seeks to reconstitute the board to ensure that the council shall be comprised of members having the necessary knowledge and expertise in public health, which is relevant to fulfill the objects and functions of the board. It also seeks to introduce the two PSs, Health and Finance, and also includes the Director General for Health in the council. I move, Chair. And the manner of nominations of representatives from the various institutions, I move.
I propose the question that Section 3.3 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I put the question, which is that Section 3.3 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 3.4 and new Section 3A.
I propose the question, which is that Section 3.4 be amended Okay, I'll have a go at it again. I propose a question, which is that Section 3.4 and Section 3A be amended as proposed in the bill. And there being no amendment, I put the question, which is that section 3(4) and section 3(a) be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 6.
I propose the question, which is that section 6 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Chair, I beg to move that section 6 be amended as proposed in the order paper. And Chair, this amendment is necessary for the purposes of correct referencing, so as to correctly refer to the manner of appointment, term of the office, and removal from office in relation to the members of the council. I move, Chair.
Okay, and Chair, you need to mobilize your voices for the sake of your own. I go on to propose the question, which is that section 6 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I go on to put the question, which is that section 6 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 7 and section 23.
I propose the question, which is that section 7 and section 23 be amended as proposed in the bill. And there being no amendment, I put the question, which is that section 7 and section 23 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? 21. The ayes have it.
Paragraph 1 of the schedule.
I propose the question, which is that paragraph 1 of the schedule be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
9 or 7? No? You want 9? 9 is too big. It can't be 9. 7.
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that the schedule be amended, and I'll do a further amendment as proposed in the order paper. And instead of the word 9, it should be the word 7. It should be 7. And this seeks to ensure the quorum for the conduct of the meetings is 2/3, which is 7.
And that's paragraph 1 of the schedule.
Actually 5.
Right?
7, because they are 11.
11.
Yes.
2, 3, 4.
Count.
5 plus 3 is 8. Yeah? Yeah, it is. Yeah, 9.
So it should be 5. Okay. Chair, upon further consultation, I'll do a further amendment to read 5. Because we have changed the membership from 11 to 9, so then 5 will be enough number, not number 4, quorum.
I propose the question, which is that paragraph 1 of the schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair. I go on to put the question, which is that paragraph 1 of the schedule be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the Public Health Officers Training, Registration and Licensing Act, Act number 12 of 2013, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority Act, Act number 20 of 2013.
I propose the question, which is that provisions relating to the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority Act, Act number 20 of 2013, be amended as proposed in the bill.
New subsection 3.
I propose the question that new subsection 3 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move. It's not 3, there's no amendment, Chair. I'm amending 5, section 5.
You're adding a 4.
4.3.
New subsection 3.
Is it 3 or 4.3? It's new so okay, Chair, I beg to move that new subsection 4.3 be amended as proposed in the order paper. Isn't it?
No?
Where is that?
The first one.
Are you on page 349?
Just a minute.
You're using a different chapter.
You see, the proposed amendment is to section 5. So inserting the following new subsection immediately after subsection 2. So we have 3.
Yes.
So I'll say, I beg to move that section 3, new subsection 3,
Yes, it's a subsection.
be amended, a subsection, that a new subsection 3 be amended as proposed in the order paper. Okay. So Chair, I beg to move that new subsection 3 and 4 be amended as per the order paper. Chair, this amendment seeks to ensure that all national and county public health facilities shall procure drugs and medical supplies from the Kenya Medical Suppliers Authority so as to ensure quality of such drugs and medical supplies are of the biggest, highest standards and are not compromised for the safety of Kenyans. I move, Chair.
I propose the question, which is that new subsection 3 and 4 be amended as proposed in the bill. I'll have a go at it again. I propose that new subsection 3 and 4 be amended as proposed by the chair, and I go on to put the question, which is that new subsection 3 and 4 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 5.5.
I propose the question, which is that section 5.5 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that new section 5.5 be amended. That section 5.5 be amended as proposed in the order paper. Chair, this amendment introduces the qualification of one to be appointed as the chairperson of KEMSA and also seeks to ensure that the board is comprised of members having the relevant knowledge and expertise in medical supplies. It also seeks to include DG for health in the board for the purposes of technical expertise and also seeks to specify with certainty the institutions which will nominate representatives into the membership of the board. I move, Chair.
I propose the question, which is that section 5.5 be amended as proposed by the chair. And I go on to put the question, which is that section 5.5 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority Act number 20 of 2013, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Counselors and Psychologists Act number 14 of 2014.
I propose the question, which is that provisions relating to the Counselors and Psychologists Act number 14 of 2014, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 2.
I propose the question, which is that section 2 be amended as proposed in the bill. And there being no amendment, I put the question that Section 2 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 4.4.
I propose the question, which is that Section 4.4 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that Section 4. Is it 4? Section 4 be amended as proposed in the order paper. 4.4 be amended as proposed in the order paper. And Chair, this amendment introduces a qualification for one to be appointed as chairperson of the Counselors and Psychologist Board. Also seeks to ensure that the board is comprised of members having the relevant knowledge and expertise in counseling and psychology. It also seeks to include the Director General for Health in the board, and also specifies categories of members of the board who shall not be public officers and who shall be nominated by their various institutions. I move, Chair.
I propose the question, which is that Section 4.4 be amended as proposed by the Chair. And I go on to put the question, which is that Section 4.4 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to put the global question, that the provisions relating to the Counselors and Psychologists Act, Act number 14 of 2014, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Physiotherapist Act, Act number 14 of 2014.
I propose the question that provisions relating to the Physiotherapists Act, Act number 14 of 2014, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 6.6.
I propose the question that Section 6.6 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that Section 6.6 be amended as proposed in the order paper. And Chair, this amendment introduces for qualification for one to be appointed as the chairperson of the board, and this is Physiotherapist Board. And it also seeks to ensure that the board is comprised of members who are having the relevant knowledge and expertise in physiotherapy. It also includes the DG for Health in the Council, and specify the institutions which shall nominate the 5 representatives who shall not be public officers. I move, Chair.
I propose the question, which is that Section 6.6 be amended as proposed by the Chair. I put the question, which is that Section 6.6 be amended as proposed by the Chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 6.10.3a, a new Section 10a.
I propose the question, which is that Section 10.3a, I'll have a go at it again. I propose the question that Section 6.10.3a and a new Section 10a be amended as proposed in the bill. And there being no amendment on this, I put the question, which is that Section 6.10.3a, a new Section 10a, be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the Physiotherapists Act, Act number 14 of 2014, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Health Records and Information Managers Act, Act number 15 of 2016.
I propose a question, which is that provisions relating to the Health Records and Information Managers Act, Act number 15 of 2016, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 2.
I propose the question, which is that Section 2 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that Section 2 be amended as proposed in the order paper. And Chair, this amendment again introduces the qualification for one to be appointed as the chairperson, by this time of Health Records and Information Board. There are many. And also seeks to ensure that the board is compromised. Yeah. No? Okay. Yeah.
Compromised.
I'm ahead. Let me go back again. The Section 2, the justification is to retain the Association of Medical Records Officers of Kenya as defined in the Act, since the association nominates a member to the board. I move.
I propose the question that Section 2 be amended as proposed in the bill. I put the question, which is that Section 2 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 7.
I propose the question, which is that Section 7 be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Chair, I beg to move that Section 7 be amended as proposed in the order paper. This chair introduces qualification for one to be appointed as the chairperson of the board, and also seeks to ensure the board is comprised of members having relevant knowledge and expertise in health records and information management. It also seeks to include DG in the board and specifies the various institutions that will nominate their representatives to the board. I move, Chair.
I propose the question, which is that Section 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. And I go on to put the question, which is that Section 7 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 10, new Section 14A and Section 28(1).
I propose the question, which is that Section 10, new Section 14A, Section 28(1) be amended as proposed in the bill. There being no amendments, I put the question, which is that Section 10, new Section 14A, and Section 28(1) be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the health
expertise in clinical medicine. 2, introduction of PS Health and Finance. And 3, the amendment to the 6 also specifies the various institutions that shall nominate their representative into the council. I beg to move. We cannot wait up to 6.
I propose a question, which is that section 4.4 be amended as proposed by the chair. I go on to put the question, which is that section 4.4 be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New section 8A and section 24.2.
I propose the question, which is that new section 8A and section 24.2 be amended as proposed in the bill. I go on to put the question, which is that new section 8A and section 24.2 be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
First schedule.
I propose the question, which is that the first schedule be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
I beg to move that, Chair, the first schedule be amended as proposed in the order paper. This seeks to set the quorum for the conduct of meetings of the council at 5 members, since the council will now comprise of 9 members. I move.
I propose the question, which is that the first schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. And I go on to put the question, which is that the first schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I go on to put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the Clinical Officers Training, Registration and Licensing Act, Act number 20 of 2017, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Provisions relating to the Health Act, Act number 21 of 2017.
I propose a question, which is that provisions relating to the Health Act, Act number 21 of 2017, be amended as proposed in the bill.
Section 31E.
I propose the question that section 31E be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Chair, I beg to move that section 31E be amended as proposed in the order paper. Chair, the deletion of the proposed amendment will retain the Director General for the Health in the membership of Kenya Health and Human Resource Advisory Council. Since the DG for Health is a technical advisor to the government in all matters relating to health within the health sector. I move, Chair.
I propose a question, which is that section 31E be amended as proposed by the chair. I go on to put the question, which is that section 31E be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 31I.
I propose a question, which is that section 31I be amended as proposed in the bill. And I go on to put the question, which is that section 31I be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 33(2).
I propose a question, which is that section 33(2) be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Thank you, Chair. I beg to move that section 33(2) be amended as proposed in the order paper, and this, Chair, is just to change the word from authority to a council. I move, Chair.
I propose a question, which is that section 33(2) be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New section 33A.
I propose the question, which is that new section 33A be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair? I beg your pardon. We have no amendment. So I go on to propose the question again, which is a new section 33A be amended as proposed in the bill, and there being no amendment, I put the question that new section 33A be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Section 46(1).
I propose a question, which is that section 46(1) be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Chair, I beg to move that section 46(1) be amended as proposed in the order paper. Chair, this amendment seeks to retain the qualification of the chairperson of the Kenya Health Professions Oversight Authority as originally contained in the Health Act, and further enhances it by providing for 10 years experience. The amendment also seeks to remove the AG from the membership of the Kenya Health Profession Oversight Authority and instead retain a representative nominated by the Council of County Governors. And this is necessary owing to the fact that health is a concurrent function between the national and county government. The amendment also seeks to provide for the manner of nomination of the representatives to the authority by various institutions. I beg to move.
I propose a question, which is that section 46(1) be amended as proposed by the chair. And I go on to put the question, which is that section 46(1) be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
New section 46(1)A, section 49(2), and new section 49A.
I propose a question that new section 46(1)A, section 49(2), new section 49A be amended as proposed in the bill. And there being no amendment, I go on to put the question, which is that new section 46(1)A, section 49(2), new section 49A be amended as proposed in the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
First schedule.
I propose a question, which is that the first schedule be amended as proposed in the bill. Chair?
Chair, I beg to move that first schedule be amended as proposed in the order paper. And this amendment seeks to ensure that the persons in charge of various levels of health facilities shall be only those within the medical profession, so as to ensure efficient management and administration of public health services. I move.
I propose a question, which is that the first schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. And I go on to put the question, which is that the first schedule be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as of that opinion say aye?
Aye.
Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. And I go on to put the global question, which is that the provisions relating to the Health Act, Act number 21 of 2017, as amended, be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Okay. The new clause.
New clause 2A.
No, there's a new clause.
Lakini jana tulikubali jana ilikuwa muhimu, labda ilikuwa mbaya, lakini
I now call upon the mover to move second reading of the new clause.
Chair, I move that the new clause A, 2A, be read a second time.
I propose a question, which is that, do you want to give some explanation?
Okay, yeah. I am. Chair, this new clause seeks to ensure the introduction of transition provisions to ensure that there will be seamless transition from the former boards and councils to the new boards and councils as they will be reconstituted as proposed in the bill.
I propose the question, which is that new clause 2A be read a second time. I put the question, which is that new clause 2A be now read a second time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I propose a question, which is that new clause 2A be part of the bill. I go on to put the question, which is that new clause 2A be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question, which is that the title be the title of the bill. I go on to put the question, which is that the title be the title of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose a question, which is that clause 1 be part of the bill. I go on to put the question, which is that clause 1 be part of the bill. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now call upon the mover to move reporting. To lead of majority.
It's my bill. Honorable Chairperson, I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Health Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2021, and its approval thereof with amendments.
I go on to put the question for reporting, which is that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the Health Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2021, and its approval thereof with amendments. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Honorable Member, Mr. Speaker.
Chair.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the Health Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2021, and approved the same with amendments.
Very well, the mover.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the Health Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2021, and I also request the Honorable Chair of Health, Honorable Sabina Chege, to second the motion.
The Honorable Sabrina Ashaya.
Thank you, Chair. I second, and as I second, I want to really thank my members and the members who are here and who have really helped us to move this bill. And also the Chair and the team that, Mr. Speaker, were able to move. We had many clauses and they really took us through well. So as I thank my Vice Chair, the members of my committee who are here, and the members of this House who, despite the busy schedule, have gotten time to come and move these amendments that are very important to the medical field and also to the health sector. Thank you, Speaker, and I second.
I couldn't put it better. Honorable members, allow me then to propose the question that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the whole House on its consideration, the Health Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2021. The Honorable Angwenye, I would have really loved to do that, but for good reason, I will defy it until that business is set down on the order paper again, and then we shall do that. For now, I direct that we move on to the next business on the order paper for the day.
Order number 10, the Elections Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2022, second reading.
Leader of Majority.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the Elections Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2022, be now read second time. And Honorable Speaker, the principal objective of this bill is really to amend the Elections Act of number 24 of 2011 to meet a number of ends, which is mainly, the first thing is to is seeking to align the provisions of the Elections Act of 2011 with the recently passed Political Parties Amendment Bill that this House did pass earlier this year, which was the National Assembly Bill number 56 of 2021, which brought in a couple of changes in the way political parties relate with one another, members relate to the political parties, and the reporting of political parties to the registrar, and also taking away some of better defining the roles of the registrar vis-a-vis the commission, the Independent Electoral and Borderless Commission, which then meant that we might need to also bring in some amendment. The Political Parties Act also introduced for the first time a coalition party, and having introduced what is now a coalition political party, the existing electoral laws, the Election Act, does not recognize that, so we need to change the definition in the election law now to also include this new creation, the coalition political party, and also to provide for how that coalition political party will submit its nomination rules, because the current requirement for nomination rules apply to the generic party and not to the coalition political party. It also, the bill also seeks an amendment to bar what would be called voter clientelism and gerrymandered voter transfers. I know the committee has a different view on that, but one of the amendments in this bill is to really have to require that for you to transfer to a new constituency or to register in a different area than you already are, you need to show you have a stake in that area, so that we end this situation where close to elections, I will go to my neighboring constituency and pick all people from my clan and transport them to my constituency so they can vote for me. But immediately after that, they then move back to their constituency And they will then be going there asking for bursaries and all that for somebody they never voted for. They have no interest in Kibiperi, but they will come to vote specifically for me. But eventually after that, they go back to Nakuru, they will go back to other places where I transported them from. And it denies the rightful people of Kibiperi their representation, because their voter, their representative was actually voted for by outsiders. And I believe last week or so, or 2 weeks back, this House pronounced itself in terms of the other amendment, in terms of a nominee for people to be nominated into the county assemblies, that you must show you have an interest in that county assembly. And going by the same logic, I would hope that the House would also look at stopping this issue of voter mass movement around the and voter transfers. But I know the committee has something to do with Article 38, and they will tell us on that. It also seeks, again, to align the electoral law, like I said, Elections Act number 24, with the judgment of the Supreme Court in the presidential election number 1 petition number 1 of 2017, and also in the High Court, decision of the High Court in the Katiba Institute and others versus the Attorney General and others of 2018. The courts did make some certain pronouncements in that challenged the validity of some of the provisions within the Act, and actually declared some of them constitutionally invalid. So they are in the books, in the electoral law. They have been invalidated by the courts, and this bill intends now to remove them so that we don't, anyone downloading the Act from the Kenya Law Reform Reports website does not refer to those acts yet they have been invalidated. For anyone who doesn't have the knowledge that the courts actually invalidated those, it's unfair keeping those things in the Act, yet they've been nullified already by the courts. So this House will that's basically a cleanup exercise to remove. Also, importantly, this bill also requires the Commission, which is the Electoral Commission, to establish a complementary mechanism for transmission of election results, whose details will be provided in the regulations. Now, if I go into each of these and more systematically, Honorable Speaker, the various amendments that seek to align the provisions with the provisions of the Political Parties Act, you look at clauses 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, and 19. Basically, is about alignment of the responsibilities of the registrar of political parties vis-a-vis the IBC because of the distinction in their various roles. One sought out the political parties, and until by the time they get their candidates, when the candidates then get to IBC, then IBC takes over. So even some nomenclature is changing between what is a nomination and who does a nomination and who does registration of candidates. So again, a number of that is purely to clean up the Act so that we're making the right references to it. For example, if you look at clause 2, it proposes to amend section 2, again to provide for the updated definition I said earlier of a political party, which now includes a coalition political party. Clauses 7 and 8 and 9 make amendments to the provision on election that refer to nomination of candidates to the positions of president, parliament, governor, and counties, again to align with the Political Parties Act that refers to registration of candidates by the Commission. So the nomination will be by the political parties, which will be more within the preserve of the working with the registrar of political parties. And then Commission will register the candidates to contest elections. So there will be no nomination by the Commission, by the IEBC, for people to vie. It's to register them as candidates. And that distinction is important, so that when we are talking nominations, we are talking of party primaries. When we are now talking of registration of candidates, we are talking of eligibility now to vie in the election, having been passed on by your political party to IEBC or as an independent to IEBC. I did mention the issue of voter movement, and I don't want to go through that again. I know it's a point of having read the committee report. I know there are issues about Article 38 and it giving a person the right to vie and a voter the right to choose a person of their choice. But I think we also need to look at the bigger public interest. Why are people being elected into parliament? It's to represent the rights of people within those defined constituencies. And like I said, my worry is obviously, and I think that's the worry of IBC and worry of other stakeholders, is if half of the voters were to migrate just before the election into a constituency for purposes of voting a specific person and then migrate back to their constituency, it denies the ordinary residents of that constituency their fair representation. And because the rights, and I'm sure the lawyers in the House will guide us, the fact that you have rights should not interfere with the rights of others. So it's important, much as we look at the individual rights of a person to elect a person of their choice, let's also, this House, look at how do we protect the rights of the ordinary residents in a constituency from being interfered with by people who have just come in for purposes of voting a person and then they move out. And they have, for the next 5 years, it will be the residents to suffer the problems associated with the wrong choice if the person then ends up being the wrong choice, not the people who came in to vote. So it's something that we would look at, and the House will, we are all, it cuts both ways. So it's something we need to carefully look through. And I remember, Honorable Speaker, this provision used to be there in the law. How it got out, I'm not quite sure. Because when you went to register you to be asked for, in the old days, you would be required to show proof that you actually have an interest in the area where you want to register. Now, so what this bill is introducing is basically saying a voter must demonstrate that they are either ordinary resident, that they are carrying on a business, or they are employed or possess other property in the electoral unit. So which basically means they have an interest to protect by getting there to vote, to get a representative vote for those interests. Because we represent the interests of the people. And the senators represent the interests of counties. So if the half the people who come to vote for to become a senator of Nyandarua County do not ordinarily or have no interest in Nyandarua County, when they come to Senate, or the person brought by those people to Senate, whose interest would they actually be representing? Not for the people of Nyandarua, but for the people who actually voted them in. So it's something that I really want to urge this House, we address this issue and we look at it with an open mind. In terms of the alignment with the court judgments, again, this bill intends to delete provisions, especially within Section 39 of the Act. And these are the ones for deletion, 1D, 1E, 1F, and 1G, the four of those were declared unconstitutional. And hence, they have no business staying in the statute books. That's for cleaner purposes only. And then, under 39(1)(c), if you look at the current 39(1)(c), which perhaps was also the subject of.
Let the majority just hold on for a second. The honorable member for Suba North. What is out of order?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I think the system is seeking to, the electronic system is seeking to frustrate me. Mr. Speaker, if you actually read the title of this bill, it's Election Amendment Bill 2022. And Mr. Speaker, you do realize that we are going to go through elections. And Mr. Speaker, this is a very critical bill. We can't discuss when we are less than 20 members in the House. Gosh. There is no quorum in the House. Thank you.
Surely.
The Honorable Odhiambo, just relax. You are on record, you are clear, and the rules are there. And the Speaker is scrupulous as far as the rules are concerned. And having raised the question of quorum, it is having drawn the Speaker's eye to the question of quorum, it is incumbent upon me now to direct that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes.
The fourth chairperson of the Speaker's panel, Honorable Christopher Omulele, has just ordered the quorum bell to be rung for 10 minutes to allow members to walk into the chambers. The House currently was about to debate the bill, the Elections Amendment Bill. The House currently was about to start a debate on the Elections Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 over 2022, tabled by the leader of a majority party. But Honorable Millie Odhiambo rose on a point of order to alert the Speaker that there is no quorum in the House, indicating that it is a very crucial bill and that the House requires a good quorum, a good number of members in the House for them to be able to debate on this bill. It is the Elections Amendment Bill, and the Leader of Majority, Honorable Amos Kimunya, was expounding on what this particular bill entails. And a look at what the bill entails is that the bill seeks to amend Section 2 of the Act in order to provide for a clearer definition of a nomination and political party. The bill also deletes the definition of nomination day in the Act. Also, the bill seeks to define the term registration of candidates in relation to selection and election of party candidates to cater for the inclusive of new provisions on conduct of party nominations, which are to be introduced into the Act. The bill seeks to amend Section 5 of the Act to provide that a person must present a valid Kenyan passport during registration as a voter. Clause 5 seeks to amend Section 7 of the Act to provide for qualifications for transfer of registration. The Elections Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2020, also seeks to amend Section 8A of the Act. This one is found in Clause 6, which relates to the audit of the register of voters, by deleting subsection 3 as it makes reference to the first general election after the commencement of the Election Laws Amendment Act 2016. The provision required the Commission to engage a professional firm to conduct an audit of the register of voters for the purposes of the first general elections. This is the Elections Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2022, which currently was about to be debated on the floor of the House. It is a bill that has been tabled by the leader of Majority Party, Honorable Amos Kimunya, but Honorable Millie Odhiambo rose on a point of order to alert the Speaker that the House lacks enough quorum, or rather lacks quorum, for this particular bill to be debated, or for debate on this particular bill to start, indicating that it is a crucial bill at this time when the country is preparing for elections, and thereby prompting the Speaker, Honorable Christopher Omulele, to order that the bell be rung for 10 minutes. This is the quorum bell, according to standing orders, that when the House lacks quorum, then a quorum bell will be rung for 10 minutes to give way for members to get into the chambers, to allow for the business that is on the floor to continue or start. So basically what is happening is that it's a quorum bell for members to get into the chambers to begin debate on the Elections Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 3 of 2022, tabled by the leader of Majority Party, Honorable Amos Kimunya. Clauses 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 18 in this bill seek to amend sections 14, 16, 17, 19, 22, 23, 24, 25, 32, and 33 of the Act, respectively, by deleting the word nominations and substituting it with the words registration of candidates. This will ensure that there is a clear delineation of the roles of the Commission vis-a-vis the role of the Registrar of Political Parties during nominations or registration of candidates. The bill also, under Clause 15, amends Section 27 of the Act to provide that a party shall submit to the Commission a certified copy of its nomination rules issued by the Registrar of Political Parties. Further, the clause provides that in the case of a coalition political party, the coalition political party shall submit a certified copy of its nomination rules issued by the Registrar of Political Parties within 14 days of its registration. Members walking into the chambers, as you can see there, this is the quorum bell currently underway. There is a lack of quorum in the House for this particular debate on this bill. It is a crucial bill that members say requires enough quorum on the floor of the House. Clause 16 of this bill seeks to amend Section 28 of the Act to provide that a party shall submit to the Commission a certified copy of the membership list from the Registrar of Political Parties. The clause further proposes to reduce the timeline for submission of party membership lists from 120 days to 90 days. Clause 17 amends Section 31 of the Act by deleting subsections 2, 2B, 2C, 2E, and 2F. Clause 20 also seeks to amend Section 39 of the Act to provide for the flow of election results for a presidential election from the presiding officer to the Commission. Clause 20 seeks to amend Section 39 of the Act to provide for the flow of the election results
Honourable members, it is clear that the bell, for those whom it tolls, do not seem to hear it. So we are in this situation. It's a constitutional situation. We have no choice. Honourable members, because of lack of quorum and the time being 5:23 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Thursday, the 31st March 2022 at 2:30 p.m.
Jangara